Hi guys, welcome back to Nita Crochets. My name is Anita. Today we are working this halter top in the very same stitch I taught you recently, which is the web of love or the hearts in a web stitch. This is how it looks like. I'm going to be writing a pattern for this as well, and this is what we need for this tutorial. We need a pair of scissors, 3.5 millimeter hook, yarn. Then we have stitch markers and probably a tape measure if you wish, but I usually make my halter tops trying them on myself and gauging which size is for what and all that. So I'm working with this type of yarn. It's 100% acrylic and it is lightweight, around size 2. So I'm doubling my strands so I can get some gauge, but if you're working with size 3 yarn, the better. So first we are going to make a slip knot, and what we are going to make first is a breast cup, the breast cups, before we actually make the bottom part of the halter top. So we make a slip knot, and here we shall insert our hook into the loop, and after that we are going to chain 17, okay, 17, and I intend to have 15 for the project, and then the extra 2 which makes 17 to be the turning chains for starting our very first row. So once you have all 17, you're going to get into the third chain stitch from the hook, and there you will work a double crochet. Then we shall work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and now we are just going to continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until we have 1 chain stitch left to end the row. So I'm going to let you work your double crochets until you have 1 chain stitch left, then I'll meet you guys there and then show you what to do. As you can see, I only have 1 stitch left to end my row. So in there, I am going to work 2 double crochets. So I'll get in and work my first double crochet, then get in again and work my second double crochet. Then from here, I am going to chain 1, work my other 2 double crochets, all in that very same stitch. So basically, these will be 4 double crochets and 1 chain in between every 2 double crochets. Now, as you can see, I'm going to be working on the opposite side of my foundation chains. So the 4 double crochets help us to turn, like make a curve, okay? So I'll get into the opposite side of each foundation chain, and I'll be working 1 double crochet in each one of them. So I'm going to let you guys work your double crochets all the way going down until the end of the row. So on the opposite side, there should be 14 double crochets. So let me meet you guys there, then show you what to do next. Now we are all the way down, and this is how your work should look like. This is my first row of the breast cup. So I'm going to be working my next rows. Nothing is really different. Let me just help you guys work the next row. Then after that, you will just do the very same thing repeatedly. So here we chain 2, turn our work, and into the very first stitch, we work a double crochet. We get into the next stitch and work 1 double crochet, and we shall be working 1 double crochet into every stitch, all the way going up until we get at the peak. You remember the chain 1 space that we worked at the peak of the row? That's exactly where I'm going to meet you guys, then show you what to do. So go all the way up and I'll meet you at the chain 1 space right there. I am right at the chain 1 space. This is how my work looks like so far. So what I am going to do now, you see that chain 1 space right there? I'm going to get in there and work my 2 double crochets into that very same spot, okay? So I'll work my second double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 1. Again, I will work 2 double crochets once again into that very same spot. So you work your second double crochet just like that. Now what happens next is I'm going to be working 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way going down until the end of the row. So you see that for us to have that turn or curve, we need to work those 4 double crochets into that chain 1 space so that we can like start working onto the opposite side of our project. So just keep doing this and work your double crochets all the way going down until the end of the row. Then I'm going to meet you guys there, then show you what to do. So I feel like working the breast cups is really easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you work your way down. Then after that, what you are going to do is you're going to keep chaining 2 and working your rows repeatedly, just like we have worked this row repeatedly until you have the coverage that you need for your breast cup, so it will enlarge over time. And once you have done this breast cup, you're going to do the very same thing for your second breast cup. So we have 2 of these, the left and right. All right, so let me meet you guys there. And here is what my breast cup looks like. I have tried it on, and this would fit a size small, but then I am a size medium. So I'm going to be working 1 extra row. Remember that we have those extra 2 rows that we work for the design along the whole entire breast cups. So when you're making your breast cup, keep in mind that you have 2 more rows extra that you're going to work. So just not to have a big breast cup, make sure you're like half an inch down the size that you need, okay? So for me, I'm just going to work an extra row before I start working the mesh and the picots rows, all right? So let me just work this extra row for my breast cup, then get back to you guys and work the, the mesh over the breast cups. So now that I have the size that I really want for my breast cup, I am now going to start working the mesh. So what we do here is we are going to chain 4, then turn our work. 3 of the chains act as a stitch, so which would have been there, okay? Then the chain 1 is for the chain gap, so we skip 1 and then get into the 3rd stitch and work our double crochet, just like that. Then chain 1, skip 1, get into the next stitch, work a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, work a double crochet into the next stitch. So you're just going to keep doing this all the way up until you get to the chain 1 space that is at the tip of our breast cup. So let me let you guys work all your way up, and then I'm going to meet you at the tip of the breast cup and show you what to do. And now, as you can see, I am almost approaching the tip. So you see it is right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1 and get into it right there. I'm going to work a double crochet into that chain 1 space. Remember, I've skipped 1 stitch. So chain 1 once again and work a double crochet into that very same chain 1 space. So that means in the chain 1 space we are having a V stitch, okay? After that, you're just going to resume with exactly what we have done on the opposite side. So you skip 1, you chain 1, skip 1 and work your double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, work a double crochet into the next stitch. And this is what you keep doing all the way down until the end of your row. So I'm going to meet you at the end of the row, then show you what to do next. And here we are. I am at the end of my row. This is how my work looks like. Now, what I'm going to be working is picots. So I'll chain 1 and turn my work. Into this very first stitch, I'm going to work a single crochet. Now I'll get into the chain 1 space, then I'll work a single crochet, chain 2, get into the single crochet stitch right there. I'll just have 2 loops, get into those 2 loops, then pull through and work a slip stitch. That's how you work your picot. Now get into the next stitch, work a single crochet. When you get into the chain 1 space, you work a single crochet with a picot. So that means you work a single crochet, then chain 2, get back into the 2 loops of the single crochet, pull through a loop and work a slip stitch. That's how you work those picots, all right? Work 1 single crochet, get into the next chain 1 space, work a single crochet, chain 2, get into that very same single crochet stitch, pull through a slip stitch in the two loops of that single crochet, and that's what you are going to keep doing repeatedly all the way until you get to the double crochet that gets us to the peak of our project. And once you are there, that's when I'm going to meet you, then show you what to do. I'm so sorry guys, I just got to realize that I missed a clip, but this is what we will do. When you get at the tip right there, into the chain one space at the tip right there, you are going to work 3 single crochets in that very same space. And once you have that, then you're going to just resume the very same thing we have been doing, working a single crochet into the next stitch, and then into the chain one space you work a single crochet with a picot on top. This is exactly what you're going to do for your second breast cup. So you have 2 breast cups that look like this. Okay, now what's going to happen here is we are going to be working on the bottom edge, along the bottom edge of our breast cups, and this is what we shall do. From where we stopped on our previous breast cup, we are just going to turn it upside down, upside down, and here we shall chain 1. Into that very first stitch we work a single crochet. Now when I get into the double crochet stitches or double crochet posts, I am going to work 2 single crochets. So into every double crochet post we are going to be working 2 single crochets all the way along this whole entire edge. Okay, so get into the next double crochet post and work 2 single crochets. I usually just love to work the first single crochet at the start of the post, and then the second single crochet into the center of the post. But if that gets confusing for you, you can just work 2 single crochets. I hope I didn't even confuse you. Yeah, you just have to work 2 single crochets into every double crochet post. If working them separately can probably confuse your count. So just work this all the way across the whole entire edge, and then cross over to the next breast cup without chaining anything, without, just cross over and just continue working your single crochets into every double crochet post all the way until you are on the other side of the second breast cup. Okay, so just work all the way up to here. That's when I'll meet you and show you what it looks like. Now that we have our breast cups complete, I am going to start working the lower part of our top before I get back to showing you our breast cups. And here I am going to make a slip knot. Now the heart in a web stitch or web of love is literally a stitch that works in sets of 24. So for me, I am going to have about 4 sets of 24, I think 4 to 5 sets of 24. So for 4 sets of 24, I'm going to have to chain 96 chains, all right? 96 chains. For me, those are really enough to cover the whole front of my underbust all the way to the sides, which is like the side of my ribs, and that's what I am looking for, because when I stretch it out, it's going to go all the way to almost midway the back of my ribs, and that's what I'm looking for. So chain 96, and once you have all 96 chains, what you are going to do is you're going to work 2 extra chains just for our turning chains to start our very first row. So that means in total you are going to have 98 chains. So let me let you guys work your chains all the way and then get back and show you what to do. So once you have all the chains required for this project, we work our extra 2 chains like I said. And now into the 3rd chain stitch from the hook, we are going to work a double crochet. Then we shall work 4 double crochets into the next 4 stitches. So we should have 5 double crochets into the first 5 stitches. Okay, just like that. I already worked a tutorial for this stitch pattern just in case it gets to a point where you feel confused. There is a whole tutorial, very slow, very educative for this very same stitch. So here, once we have those 5 double crochets, we chain 2 and skip 2. Into the next stitch, we work a double crochet. and then we are going to work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. So that's our second, third, and then the fourth. So basically we are going to have 4 stitches here. Yeah, then once again we chain 2. Oh sorry, this time we are going to chain 5. We chain 5. So once we have our 5 chains, we are going to skip 2 and then get into the next stitch, work your double crochet, then work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. Yeah, then once again we chain 2 and skip 2, 1, 2, get into the next stitch, work your double crochet, then work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. Then what we do is we chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, then into the next you work your double crochet, and then we are going to work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. There we are. Okay, then here you can see what we have. So once again we chain 2 and skip 2, 1, 2, then into the next we work a double crochet, then we shall work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. So now this is what we have, and that's how it looks like. So what's going to happen here is, you see that we have had 4 sets of 4 double crochets before we have this chain 5. So here we have 4 sets, okay, before this. So what's going to happen now is we are going to chain 5 and skip 2, then into the next stitch we work a double crochet. Now just to enlighten you, for wherever we are having 5 chains, we intend to have our heart there, okay? Those 5 chains, it's from that we are going to build the heart, okay? So yes, we have our 4 double crochets complete. So here we chain 2, skip 2, work into the next stitch, and in there we work a double crochet, then work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. So you can see that this is our second set of 4 double crochets. And remember, before we have the chain 5, we need to have 4 sets of 4 double crochets, just like I showed you. The first 2 sets of 2 double crochets that we had, those were just to start the row, and I'll explain later why it's like that. So chain 2, skip 2, then work your 4 double crochets into the next 4 stitches, okay, and do the very same thing for the next set of 4 double crochets. You will chain 2 and then skip 2 and work 4 double crochets into the next 4 stitches. So let me meet you there. So as you can see here, I have 3 sets of 4 double crochets, so I need to work 1 more set. So I'll chain 2 and skip 2, then work 4 double crochets into the next 4 stitches, okay? And just like that, we have all the 4 that we needed. So what's going to happen next is we are going to chain 5, then skip 2, 5. Now skip 2 and then work a double crochet into the next stitch, then work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches, just like that. So you are going to do the very same thing that we have done. What we did right here, you see that? Having 4 sets of 4 with 2 chains in between every set of 4 double crochets. Now you see what I have done. I have added those 3 sets of 4 double crochets, Now what's left to do is to chain 5. Okay, and once we chain 5, we are going to skip 2, get into the next stitch and work a double crochet. Then we shall work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. So the way we are ending this row is exactly how we started the row. So you work your 3rd double crochet and the 4th double crochet right there. And once you have that, now we are going to chain 2, skip 2, and then we are going to work 5 double crochets into the last 5 stitches. All right? And if you remember clearly how we started the row, we started with 5 double crochets, then we chained 2. Then after that, we worked 4 double crochets and then we chained 5. And that is exactly how we have ended this row as well. All right? That alone shows you that you have the exact number of stitches that you had to have when starting this project. If you end up with more or less stitches, then you probably miscounted somewhere. All right? See that this is how we started everything right here. This is how my work looks like right now. Now let's move on to the next row. And now we are going to chain 2 and turn our work. First, we are going to work 2 double crochets into the first 2 stitches. So that's the first one, and that's the second. So here we are going to chain 2, and we shall skip the next 2 stitches. Then we shall work a double crochet into the next stitch. Into the chain gap, we are going to work 2 double crochets. That's 1, and then we go in for the second one. Then we shall work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, right there. And here we are going to chain 5. Okay, we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we shall work a single crochet into the next chain gap right there. Chain 5, skip 5, which means we are skipping the 2 chains on the 5 and then the next 3 double crochet stitches. So we work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Then into the chain gap, we are going to work 2 double crochets. And then we shall work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And this is how it looks like. From here, we are going to chain 2, skip 2, and then work a double crochet into the next stitch. Then we shall work 2 double crochets into the chain gap, just like that. Then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. We chain 2, skip 2, and work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now here we work 2 double crochets into the chain gap, and then we work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now, as you can see, we are having that chain 5 next. You see that right there? So we are going to do exactly what we did previously. So we chain 5, then work a single crochet into that chain gap, chain 5 once again, and now we are going to skip 5. So we work a double crochet into that stitch right there. When I say skip 5, we are skipping the 2 chains on that chain 5 and then the 3 double crochets, which makes it 5 stitches. That's what we did right here, okay? So now we work 2 double crochets into the next chain gap. Once you have that, then you work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So once again, we are chaining 2 and skipping 2. We work a double crochet into that stitch. Then we shall work 2 double crochets into the chain gap. That's 1. Then those are 2. And now we work 1 double crochet into the next stitch right there. Chain 2, skip 2. Work a double crochet into that stitch. And into the chain gap, we work 2 double crochets. Then work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So as you can see, we are having that chain 5. So we do exactly what we did previously. We chain 5 and work a single crochet into that chain 5 space. Then we chain 5 once again, skip 5 and work a double crochet in there into the next stitch. We then shall get into the chain gap and work 2 double crochets in there, then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So what's going to happen is I'm going to let you work this last bit on your own right there, and when you get here you work the chain 5s that we did right here. I'm just going to meet you right there when we are ending the row. So this is how your row should look like after you have done what I told you guys to do. So I'm just going to get into this last chain gap and I'm going to work my 2 double crochets as I should, and then I'll work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And now what I will do is I'm going to chain 2 and skip 2. Skip those 2 stitches. Now get into the last 2 stitches and work 2 double crochets. So you can see that how I have ended my row is exactly how I started the row. Yeah, and that's what we are looking for. So this is how your work should look like. There should be a resemblance at the start and end of the row. Now let's get on to the next row and see how it goes. We chain 2 and turn our work. The 2 chains do not act as a stitch. They're only our turning chains. So into the very first stitch we work a double crochet, and we shall work a double crochet into the next stitch as well. Into the chain 2 space we are going to work 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch right there. Now here I am going to chain 2 and I'll skip 5. That means I'm skipping the 3 double crochets and the first 2 chains of the 5. Okay, so I'll get into the 3rd chain stitch of the 5 chains, and into that stitch I'm going to work 5 double crochets. I'm working 5 double crochets all in this very same stitch. Those are 3, and now those are 4, and now 5 right there. I will then chain 1, skip 5 because I'm skipping the next 2 chains and the single crochet and the next 2 chains of the next chain gap. So I'll get into the 3rd chain stitch of the next 5 chains, and in there I'm going to do the very same thing. I'll work 5 double crochets all in that very same stitch. So this is our 5th, and now what we are going to do is we shall chain 2 and we shall skip 5. So we get into that stitch and work our double crochet. Then we shall work 2 double crochets into the chain gap and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So after we have that, we are going to chain 2 and skip 2, get into the next stitch, and in there we shall work a double crochet, work 2 double crochets into the next chain gap, and then work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And now we are going to chain 2 and skip 5. So we get into the third chain stitch of the next 5 chains right there, and in there we are going to work 5 double crochets all in that very same stitch. So we work all 5 double crochets into this very same spot, just like that. Okay. So now we are going to chain 1 and skip 5. Into the third chain stitch of the next five chains, we are going to work 5 double crochets right there. So we work 5 double crochets into this very same stitch. Once we have that, we are going to now chain 2 and skip 5. Then we are going to work a double crochet into the next stitch right there. We work a double crochet, and into the next chain gap we are going to work 2 double crochets. And I'm going to advise you to do exactly what we did here. You can see we have 2 sets of 4 before we have those 5 double crochets into the chain gaps right there. So it's what you're going to copy and paste all over here and there. Then I'm going to get back to show you what to do here. Now, as you can see, I have been working my row and I just want to end it the way I started it. So I work this because this is where our hearts are going to be. All right, now to end the row here is we are going to chain 2 and skip 5. And once we skip 5, we work 1 double crochet into that next stitch. And I will work 2 double crochets into the next chain gap. That means I'm left with 2 stitches. So in there, I will work 2 double crochets into the last 2 stitches. Now we are going to work onto our next row, and what we will do is we shall chain 2 and turn our work 2 double crochets into the first 2 stitches. So once we have our 2 double crochets, we are going to chain 6 and we are going to skip 5. That means we are skipping the next 3 double crochets and the 2 chains. Then we get in there, we are going to work 2 double crochets together into those next 2 stitches. So you work an incomplete double crochet and another incomplete double crochet, then you yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Into the next stitch, we work 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches, just like that. So you yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So we are going to work 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space. So we are going to then work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches. Okay. Then we shall work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. I'm working from outside, so I'm having like flying objects coming in. So yeah, we get into the next 2 stitches and work 2 double crochets together. See how it looks like. From here, I'm going to chain 6. And once I have all 6, I am going to skip the next 5 stitches. That means I'm skipping the next 2 chains and the next 3 double crochets. So I'll get into that next stitch and work a double crochet. Then into the chain gap, I am going to work 2 double crochets. Then I will work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Right there, I'll work 1 double crochet. Now, I am going to chain 6. And still I will skip 5, get into that stitch and work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches right there. So I'll pull through all 3 loops and then work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, Then I will work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches. Work 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space right there, and then work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches. Right there. Work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches. And now we shall chain 6. Once we have all 6 chains, we are going to skip 5 and work a double crochet into that next stitch. Then I will work 2 double crochets into the chain gap, then 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 6. So basically what we are going to do is exactly what we have been doing, just really copy everything that I have been doing previously for these hats right here and paste it here. And then when you get up to that point, that's where I'm going to meet you and show you how to end the row. So here we are. This is how my work looks like. So what's going to happen here is I am going to chain 6 and going to skip all the 5 stitches and then get into the last 2 stitches, and I will work 2 double crochets. Okay, so basically you can see that how we start our row is exactly how we end it, and this is how this row looks like. Now to start our next row, we are going to chain 2 and turn our work. I'm going to work 2 double crochets into the first 2 stitches. All right, so once I have the 2 double crochets, I'm going to get into the chain gap and work 3 double crochets all in that very chain gap. All right, so once I have all 3 double crochets in the chain gap, I'm going to chain 4. Then I will skip the next 3 chains, get into these double crochet stitches, and I will work 3 double crochets together. So that means I work 3 incomplete double crochets, then yarn over and pull through all the 4 loops, just like that. Now I will work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And then after that, I'm going to work 3 double crochets together into the next 3 stitches. So basically those are 3 incomplete double crochets, and then yarn over and pull through all the 4 loops, just like that. Now from here I am going to chain 4 and get into the next chain gap, and in there I am going to work 3 double crochets all in this very same chain gap. Now we are going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, which is this one. So you work your 1 double crochet, and then after this I am going to chain 5. Okay, those are 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll skip 2 and work a double crochet into the next stitch right there. Then from here I am going to work 3 double crochets into the next chain gap. So here we are, and now we are going to chain 4. You see that this chain 5 space is what we had here when starting our hats. So just know that anywhere that it's going to have the 5 chains is exactly where our next hats are going to fall. So here we chain 4 and get to the hat, skip those 3 chains, get to the hat and work 3 double crochets together into the next 3 stitches. Okay, so now here you yarn over and pull through all the 4 loops, just like that. Then chain 1, work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then work 3 double crochets together into the next 3 stitches. And once you have that, you are going to chain 4. You will chain 4 and work 3 double crochets into the next chain gap. Okay, so you can see that what we have been doing here is exactly what we are going forward to do. So I'm just going to work these 3 double crochets, and I'm going to let you guys run the rest of the row on your own. Just copy and paste. I'll just be getting back to show you how to end your row. Yes, so here you will work a double crochet into the next stitch, just like that. Then after that, you'll chain 5 and skip 2. Okay, just like we did right here. Chain 5, skip 2, work your double crochet into the next stitch, and then 3 double crochets into the chain gap. So basically just copy and paste what we did here and do it on this other side. I'm just going to get back to show you how to end your row. Now here we are going to chain 4 and skip, basically we don't even skip, we just get into the next chain gap, and there we are going to work 3 double crochets in that chain gap. And once we have all 3 double crochets, we are now going to head over into the last 2 double crochets, and we shall work 1 double crochet in each one of them, so that we have 5 double crochets at the end of the row, just like we had them when we were starting the row. Okay, so you work your double crochets into those last 2 stitches, just like that, and that's how you end your row. So let's get on to the next row and see how this turns out. Now for the next row, we are going to chain 2 and turn our work. Remember, the 2 chains just act as our turning chains, they don't act as a stitch. So we chain 2 and turn our work, and here we are going to work a double crochet into the very first stitch. Then we shall work a double crochet into the next stitch as well. Then here we are going to chain 4. We are now going to skip the next 2 stitches and then get into the next stitch and work a double crochet right there. So we get into that stitch, work your double crochet. Then we shall work 3 double crochets into the chain gap. Okay. Now from here we are going to chain 4. And once we have all 4 chains, we are going to skip the next chains, the 3 chains, get into the next double crochet stitches and work 3 double crochets together. Then we will chain 4 and get into the next chain gap right there, and in there you're going to work 3 double crochets all in that very same chain gap. Once we have all 3 double crochets, we are going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now here we are going to chain 5 and get into this next chain gap. We shall work a single crochet. Then we chain 5 once again, and then we shall skip the next 3 double crochets and work a double crochet into the next stitch. Then we work 2 double crochets. 3 double crochets into the next chain gap, just like that. Then we chain 4. Once you have all 4 chains, you are now going to get into this next double crochet stitches and you work 3 double crochets together. Okay, just like that. So chain 4, get into the next chain gap and work 3 double crochets into that chain gap. Okay, I'm just going to work this, then let you work the rest of the row. So you work your 3 double crochets into this chain gap, then you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch right there. And once you have this, now you see what we did here is exactly what we have done here. Now here, what we are going to do is you will chain 5, get into the next chain gap and work a single crochet right there. Then you chain 5 once again, get into the next skip the next 3 double crochets and work a double crochet into that next stitch. So you can see that what we have been doing here is exactly what we have. So I'm going to let you come to the end of the row. I'm just going to get back to show you how to end your row. But yes, you can see the resemblance. So just continue from what we did here and paste it into here. Okay? So let me get back once you are almost at the end of the row. So as you can see, we are almost at the end of the row. And now what we are going to do here is we are going to chain 4 and just make sure that the way we started our row is exactly how we end it. So we are going to chain 4 and skip the next 2 stitches, then work 2 double crochets into the last 2 stitches. Okay? Right there. So chain your 4 and then get into the last 2 double crochets and work your last 2 double crochets right there. So that's how you end this row. Now let me get back to show you how the next row is going to be. So we are going to work chain 2 and turn our work. We work 1 double crochet. Now I made a mistake. This had to be 1 double crochet, not 2 double crochets when starting this row. Yeah, so just have 1 double crochet and then skip all those stitches and get into the 3rd chain stitch of the next chain gap. And in there you're going to work 5 double crochets. 5 double crochets, all in that very same spot or chain gap right there. And once you have those, you are going to chain 2 and skip 5. And you're going to skip the next double crochet stitches and work 1 double crochet to the next stitch. Then we shall work 3 double crochets into the next stitch, into the next chain gap. Just like that. And here we are going to chain 2 and skip, get into the next chain gap. We work 3 double crochets into that chain gap. Just like that. Then we shall work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. We chain 2. You see how it looks like? We chain 2 and skip 2. And skip 5. Get into the 3rd chain stitch of the next 5 chains. And in there you're going to work 5 double crochets, all in that very same stitch. Now from here we are going to chain 1 and skip 5. We get into the 3rd chain stitch of the next 5 chains, and in there we are going to work 5 double crochets, all in that very same stitch. So once we have that, we are going to chain 2 and skip 5. We get into that last double crochet of the next 4, and there we are going to work 1 double crochet. Into the next chain gap we work 3 double crochets, all in that very same chain gap. Then we shall chain 2 and get into the next chain gap and work 3 double crochets, all in that next chain gap. Then after, we are going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now from here we are going to chain 2 and skip 5, get into the 3rd chain stitch of the next 5 chains. In here you're going to work 5 double crochets, all in that very same stitch. All right, and once you have all 5, you are going to chain 1 and skip 5, then work 5 double crochets into the next third chain stitch of the next 5 chains. Okay, now guys, I want you to copy and paste exactly what we have been doing on the other side. Like you can see what we did here, and then here you see for the spider web, all that, then it's what you feed here so that you have it right there, and then here that's where our heart is going to go. So I'm going to meet you right here and show you how to end your row. So here we are, and this is what we have. This is how our work looks like. Here we are going to chain 4, chain 2. So we get into the third chain stitch of the next chains that we have, and in there we are going to work 5 double crochets, all in that very same stitch. And once we have all 5 double crochets, we are now going to work 1 double crochet into the very last stitch of the row. Here I am going to chain 2 and turn my work into the very first stitch. I'm going to work 1 double crochet, and now into the next 2 stitches I'm going to work 2 double crochets together into those next 2 stitches. Then I will work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Right there we work 1 double crochet, and then we work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches. Okay, once we have that, we are now going to chain 6. Okay, so once we chain 6, we are going to skip the next stitches and get into that double crochet stitch. So basically we are skipping 5 stitches, so we get into that double crochet stitch and work 1 double crochet, then into the chain gap we work 2 double crochets, just like that. Then we shall work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. You see that? Chain 6, skip all those stitches, so you skip the next 3 double crochets and the next 2 chains, so that means we are skipping 5 stitches. We get into the next 2 stitches and work 2 double crochets together, just like that. Then we work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then once again 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches, just like that. And then we shall work 1 double crochet into the next stitch right there, work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches, then 1 double crochet into the next stitch, two double crochets together into the next 2 stitches, and then we shall work 6 chains. We shall chain 6, and skip the next 5 stitches, then get into that stitch, work 1 double crochet, then work 2 double crochets into the chain gap, work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. See that? Now here we are going to chain 6 once again. Okay, chain 6, and we shall skip the next 5 stitches. Chain 6. I really felt tired, but then we skip the next 5 stitches and work 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches. you can really tell that it's what we have previously done. So I'm just doing this so you guys get familiar with the stitch pattern. Work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches, just like that. 1 double crochet into the next stitch, right there. You work 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches. And once you have that, then you are going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets together into the next 2 stitches. Now from here you're going to just chain 6, exactly what we have been doing. So just copy and paste exactly what we have done. I'm just going to get back to show you how to end your row, okay? So just continue with the stitch pattern and how it flows so that you get to the end of the row. And here we are going to chain 6. And once we are now going to get into the next 2 double crochets, the next double crochets, and we shall work 2 double crochets together. Then we shall work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then we end the row with 2 double crochets in the next 2 double crochets together in the next 2 stitches, then a double crochet into the very last stitch. Now here we are going to chain 2 and turn our work for an extra, and we are going to work 1 double crochet into the very first stitch, and then we shall work 3 double crochets together into the next 3 stitches, just like that. And once we have that, we are going to chain 4 and get into the next chain gap and work 3 double crochets in there. And once we have all 3 double crochets, we are going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And now we are going to chain 5, okay, and skip 2, and we shall get into the next stitch and work 1 double crochet right there. Then we shall work 3 double crochets into the next chain gap, and then from here we are going to work 4 chains, and we shall skip the next 3 chains. So we get into the next double crochet stitches and work 3 double crochets together into the next 3 stitches, okay, just like that. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Then we work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then we shall work 3 double crochets together into the next 3 stitches. Now here we are going to chain 4 and get into the next chain gap and work 3 double crochets right there. And once we have all 3 double crochets, we are going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And now we are going to chain 5 and skip 2, get into the next stitch and work 1 double crochet right there. Then we are going to get into the next chain gap and work 3 double crochets all in that very same chain gap. And now once we have that, we are going to chain 4 and get into the next double crochet stitches. There we work 3 double crochets together. Once we have all 3 double crochets together, we work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then we shall work 3 double crochets together into the next 3 stitches, just like that. This lady is literally making noise, but I need to finish this tutorial. So we are just going to copy and paste what we have done previously, right here and right there, you see, so that we come to the end of our row. So I'm just going to get back, just copy and paste this, okay, into all of this, and I'm going to get back just to show you how to end your row so that we get on to the next row. So to end our row, this is already how my work looks like. So to end my row, I'm just going to do exactly what I did when starting the row. So yes, here I am just going to chain 4, and I am going to get into the next double crochet stitches, and I will work 3 double crochets together. And once I have all 3 double crochets together, I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the very last stitch to end my row. So yeah, that's how my work looks like. I feel like we should have ended here, but I'm just going to add 1 more row so that this heart is complete. But I feel like I think this is just enough length, to be honest. It's just enough length for me. So just in case you want to add a few more rows, you can go and visit my tutorial about this stitch pattern and see how to like add the next row. So I'm just going to move on to the next, okay? So now as you can see, I'm just going to turn my work. This is how it looks like. I later added 1 more, but it's literally honestly not necessary, because when I tried on the top, I felt like I had extra rows for the length of a crop top I really want. So where I left you guys is exactly the perfect length for a crop top. So yeah, I'm looking out for that center on my piece. So I'm going to get a stitch marker and mark the center at the foundation side, like the foundation chains side right there. So that's the center of the whole entire project. That's why I have marked it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be working a few single crochets along the opposite side of my foundation chain, so it can look like this. And then once you have worked your single crochets across that whole entire edge, you're now going to get your breast caps and place them right at the center, making sure that when we get our yarn needle to start hand sewing the breast caps onto this underbust piece, we are starting from the center, going towards the end of the left breast cap, and also starting from the center, hand sewing towards the end of the right breast cap. So that's how it's going to be. Yeah, so you'll just go in there stitch by stitch until you have come to the end of the left breast cap, and do the very same thing for the right breast cap. So I'm just going to take you through this at hyper speed so that we can get to the end of the tutorial. I'm going to now get back and show you how to attach your strings, yeah, or your straps, your straps onto the project. And now to add our straps, I'm just going to get my yarn and fold it to create that loop. So I'll pull it through the peak of my breast cap right there. I'll pull it through like that, get into the next stitch and pull through a loop, then pull through all 2 loops, and here I'll just start working my chains. Remember, I got my yarn long enough, like doubling the length that I really need for my strap. and folded it to create that loop which I pulled through to start the chains. All right, so you just keep working your chains until you have the length of the strap that you need, and this is exactly what you are going to apply onto the next areas that need you straps. Okay, that means at the peak of the next breast cup and also at the corners of our under bust piece. Okay, so that we have 4 straps, 2 straps left and right for the under bust, and um, the ones at the top of our breast cup. So you just put here and down here and also here and down here. So that's how you make this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.